Okay, welcome back, and we're going to head into the Emerald Grove. And the first thing that we do is we're going to encounter an argument between Zevlor and Eridan. We're not going to take the happy route necessarily here. So they're going to argue. We'll ask about the druid, which is going to set Eridan off a little bit. We're just going to watch. It's not our problem. We'll just let him talk. Yeah, and then these guys take off. They're not going to come inside.
Hardly the intelligent way to solve your problems. I suggest we seek out their healer, then move swiftly onwards.
So we're going to have Asterion walk over to Zevlor while he's knocked out. And we'll steal... Whoops, come on. I'm trying not to walk forward here. We'll steal all of his stuff while he's knocked out. So we picked up the Hellrider's Pride. Those are pretty nice gloves. We may use them later. But we're less scrupulous in this run through. Here we don't really need the Ring of Flinging. We could check to see what spell scrolls he's got available. We do care about what Damon has, and we'll talk to Andy Ethel and get some strength potions.
Thanks for fighting. My selection's pretty slim. I had to leave most of my equipment.
Alright, so he's got... Well, this is one of the things we're looking for, is hand crossbows. We would like to have Shadowheart upgrade to hand crossbows. You know, I'm actually going to grab one simple robe and we'll send that to camp, just in case. We may need to unequip armor from someone if we, depending on how the rest of the story here goes. And we picked up a lot of stuff so far. So even though we're not doing the robbery game, we're not going to be too poor. We'd still like to have 2,000 gold or something like that when we get to the Myconoid colony to buy all of the equipment that the vendors there sell. And we might have to do multiple trips just to make sure that we got enough money to afford everything. And if you like to keep the characters in costume, feel free. This is not worth very much money, so we could send it to camp if we wanted to. I'm not particularly interested in setting up those kinds of videos, so. These warg fangs are not bad if you're doing alchemy. The elixir of bloodlust is one of the better ones. Alright, that's going to be about it for Damon this time around. Now, if we wanted to, we could have come in here before we leveled and bought lots and lots of potions from Ethel. The vendors restock every time you level, so we would be able to buy, 3, 6, 9, 12, right, plus the 3 from the original. So we could buy all the strength potions we need in the first act right here. We're just going to pick the trade button, and we'll spend our 225 gold and get some strength pots. That's going to make Lizelle a lot better, especially when we get to level 4. And we'll just leave. And our Gale is not really interested in having side conversations or getting to know people. He's entirely concerned with getting this tadpole out of his skull. So we're going to hear these druids have some problem with people. We're not even going to talk to the parents. We don't care.
You get back.
So we're not looking for trouble.
What? You?
And they'll say they want to see us anyway. Before we head down, we're going to come down to the beach here. We'll get some easy experience and some additional stuff. The easy experience that we're going for is not the bear, although it is easy. We're going to leave the bear alive. So we'll get this amulet. Isn't going to be as handy this time, so we were able to use that in the past to get the happy buff for Asterion to go, but he's going to be in combat more often, so we're going to use it for fighting, and he can't bite Gale because Gale will do damage to him. So will Karlach, actually. So Gale and Karlach will do damage if Asterion tries to bite them. And he will not be happy. Gale, I think, does like necrotic damage to him, and Karlach is made of fire. So, if you're Dracula, don't bite, Superman, who's made of solar energy. It'd probably be painful. We will talk to Truffle, or Tuffet here, who is our easy experience. So we throw some fish and we get 15 experience. And since we're going to get the necklace anyway, might as well. So we're here trying to find the healer, and we're going to come across another not our problem on the way. So we're going to come down to this druid meeting, and they're all upset, and it's not our deal. So we're going to say the guards asked us to talk,
And keep still.
and they're arguing over the kid. We don't care. If we attack, we'll actually aggro the whole druid camp and cause the druids to kill essentially all of the tieflings. I would like to say before we get too started on this, this is a winnable fight. So with this party right now, we absolutely could kill everyone in the druid grove. We're very, very strong. So if we want to, we can go around. Sages have a check on the murals here to try to get inspiration. We could go in here and take a look at Korga's box. We're not going to. We're just going to go and talk to Nettie because we are very self-involved.
I see you.
And we're going to say, excuse me, I'm more important than some bird. And she tells us we're not.
What was it you needed?
We're going to say we need help.
You seem healthy enough.
We got a tadpole in our head. Say, can you help us? And we'll get some experience.
This way.
And we learn right here that she has the ability to open these sections of walls that look like this. Somehow. And we'll step in with everyone. And
There's something in that vessel.
we start hearing voices for the first time. That's weird.
This one had the same problem as you. A tadpole crawled out of his
Right,
head
so the
somehow.
drow thing, we're hoping, not to get killed, so it's like a less grave cure would be good.
You don't. All right.
and they'll talk a little
Let's
bit,
see what we can do.
and you just say like, hurry up, come
First
on.
things first.
Uh,
Have you noticed anything unusual? Not
we'll
just
say an
something
elective hour
wicked,
spoke
but
to
how
us.
do you pick up the parasite?
I'm going to say, are you going to
What
cure me or
are you
not?
doing to help? So tell me,
Say,
where'd
if
you
you
get
cure
that
me,
thing?
I'll answer all of your questions. Stop making me wait.
To hell's with it.
And she's going to decide to fight us. Okay, so we're going to kill her. And here, we haven't summoned our pet yet. They get in the way a bit. So we'll hit her with Hunter's Mark and miss.
They burn.
We'll see what Asterion can do. Just wrecks her.
Victory
We
awaits.
haven't drunk our strength potion yet either, so we'll hit her. And we'll go for the toppling effect. It's just 2 hits, and that's it.
So, this is what honesty gets you. Consider my lesson learned.
These tadpoles are no ordinary ailment.
Right, so Asterion tells it true. Apparently talking about this can get you killed. We'll grab this parasite specimen. We'll take a look at these notes that whoever Halson is left.
Just be able to cure.
And for story, we'll get our Speak with Dad amulet out and talk to this guy. Hey, buddy.
The corpse regards you like
Who are you? He's a absolutist. What happened? Got killed by druids. Who killed you? A bear druid. Okay. How many drow are out there? A Minthara, who's a drow back at camp. Okay. How'd you get tadpoled? Doesn't know. Alright. She's not going to be needing these books anymore.
Let's give this a try. That might be worth a look.
And we figure out that there's another way out of here. Alright, so we've looted this area. And this stone slab is locked, and the key is the hat we picked up called the Key of the Ancients.
Excellent. Time to uncover some secrets. Mine. Better be careful not to trigger that.
There's some traps in there. We come in and there's this argument going on between the goblins. We can listen up. So they're wondering where the raid went. They're stuck in here. This one will talk about Minthara wanting to find a weapon. So, like we get a lot of plot actually in this area. Here we've got the opportunity to summon our pet for the first time. I think what we'll do is we're going to pull the Dire Raven. And then if we want, we can even summon a familiar, so she can summon also a raven or a spider or something like that. So we'll summon a couple of birds. And they'll help us with a blinding attack, and they've got a lot of maneuverability. And this whole area is muddy water, so it really messes up your ability to get around. Asterian's shapeshift ability, the symbiotic entity, has actually gone up in level, so it's a little stronger than it used to be. These goblins are armed with vials that they'll throw and damaging arrows on honor mode, so we don't have a lot of advantage from being up here other than that we've got good maneuverability and they've got to run around. They're still really good. The computer is super good at finding like some 1 pixel spot where they've got a great attack on you and you somehow can't target them back. So what we can do is Flaming Sphere is awesome in this fight. These guys don't do a lot of damage and the sphere can just land right here and do a ton. So that's probably where we're going to start. So we're going to put everybody into stealth mode and break the party apart. It's a good place to save if you've not already done that. So we're going to drop this thing right in the center, and it's going to start doing fire damage and just in general wrecking their day.
Do you think the fight up front was bad?
Shut it! Boss has ripped you for talking out loud.
This also means that, similar to last time, we can let their starting strikes expire a little bit. All right, so let's see what else we can get into the fight. You can see like they're super good at catching whatever angle. So let's see what throwables we have. And we have selected Shadowheart. Void Bulb's not necessarily bad. So we'll get them lit on fire.
With every breath, a purpose.
And just by touching the acid, we're somehow involved in the combat. They must have heard it splash. And we'll go ahead and drop a shatter on these two if we can.
Diligence and care.
Yeah, it's the acids somehow getting us in combat, which is a real pain.
I've missed this. Keep guessing.
We'll run up to the edge. See who we've got shots on. We'll take this one on Torak. See how much damage we can do. At least the dog is mostly out of the fight.
Have to keep going.
Mistra real.
I am fury. I am death. No time to waste.
So not enough movement speed to get in there. We'll just drop something on their heads. Do a little bleed. And again, like these guys are so overloaded on armor mode, like they've got vials and special arrows and all kinds of stuff. Alright, that's that fight. Never did get the birds in, probably could have brought them in, but we didn't take too very much damage. Before we loot the area, however, there's a bunch of magical traps that will shoot us, so we need to turn off the pressure plates that power them.
Better tread carefully.
So that's the first one.
Action, not reaction.
And if we want to, we could also drink our strength potion now.
Bedroll in my near future.
I shouldn't linger.
But we'll do that when we get to the Blighted Village, I think.
A steady hand is needed.
This guy, not really worth a lot of experience. He's not really carrying anything that's particularly valuable. We could just leave him. If ever you've wondered. 15. That's the answer.
Undetected.
We already have a Key of the Ancients, so
Something.
not really. Whoop, hey, careful on that. We don't really want to dig this up, so be careful if you're detecting it. We do want to click on the Rune of the Wolf first. I did not intend to do that. Hey, important lesson though, everybody misclicks. Don't let it ruin your fun. Okay, now that all the beams are off, we can just run around like normal. Well, as normal as you can for the muddy area here. So we're not particularly caring about killing druids, right? So we just watched the druids kill a little girl in cold blood. We'll just choose open. We already have the key.
Immediately.
So, you know, we are probably not super invested in the Grove doing well, right? As they are baby murderers. And what we'll find out later is that Korga is even worse. So not only is she a child killer, but she's also an evil druid that plans on handing the Grove over to one of the villainous organizations from Baldur's Gate 1. And I forgot to loot this guy. So yeah, we may very well come back eventually and kill all the druids. However, the tieflings so far have actually been not so bad. So that Zevlor guy actually did open the gate, although late. And the dude that was talking to him, Eridan, was a jerk and laid him out for it. So yeah, all he's got is the hat. We've already got one of that hat, which is more of that hat than we actually need. We're just, the perception checks are just noticing that there are cannons along the wall. Coming out here, we've got the secret outdoor entrance. No, this is the inside one. We don't need to interact with that. So we'll head to the other side. This is not a run, obviously, where we're going to be able to save all the tieflings and stuff. So we're going to ascend Asterion. We're going to have Shadowheart do the Dark Justiciar path. So lots of people are going to die and suffer from our short-sighted and immediate need decisions. Okay, so we've escaped from the Druid Grove after killing their healer. Whoops, sorry about that. And now we've got to go find something else, some other option. The guidance amulet is up here. There's also a very small amount of experience for finding a spider thing. Might come back and do that later. So we'll come over and see these siblings here, try to figure out what's going on with them. We don't really know too much, except that we have heard of the Absolute already.
You're
The mark glows.
We'll ask what happened.
The injured
And
man
Owlbear,
lost theirs
okay.
with you.
Yeah.
Your minds
What's your deal, buddy?
do you have orders for us?
What's the Absolute? Yeah, sure.
And
And
when
they'll
the
explain
time
it.
comes- Please. Any supposed new god would have an uphill battle.
Yeah, she's obviously some kind of cleric. And we'll just tell them that they need to go avenge their brother.
It's killed one of us. You're right.
Yeah, go for it. And Gale is like, well, these guys are pretty stupid.
They're devoted to this absolute. Whatever it is.
All right, so our parasite is like, let me get stronger. Sounds good. Let's do that. Okay, so we'll loot all that stuff and head further in.
The less I think about that thing swimming about in my skull, the happier I'll be.
And we'll do one last quick encounter before we get to the Blighted Village, which is where we find the remainder of the band. So these guys from the original encounter have relocated. And, you know, all the stuff about tieflings being foul bloods and all that kind of stuff was more than a bit upsetting. These guys are total jerks. Okay, let's get everybody positioned. We're going to go into turn-based mode, and we'll lock in. And we're just going to start a combat here. So we'll break this apart, and we'll just have the Raven fly way over here to the other side of Barth. And we'll attack. And that's going to put us into combat with a surprise round. That is what we wanted. You see that no one is in there already. Let's break the party apart so that we don't get a bunch of weird following effects. And Asterion, I forgot to throw up the symbiotic entity again. Probably should have done that. Not the worst thing in the world. Again, also could have had Lizelle take a strength potion, but no big deal. These guys are not too bad. As combat goes, let's. Did I forget to pick up another candle already? I probably did. I bet there's one sitting right outside the gate. Okay, so we'll dump that in Asterion's inventory and put that on the ground. We'll light it up. And not going to use a bow. We want our 2 weapons.
Something extra.
And we'll attack the archer.
My patience wanes.
And we're going to start off with toppling blow. And then follow up with a sword attack.
Cloak and dagger. My
And we'll grab the bigger bird. And now that the archers cleared our line of sight, we'll fly in. And we're going to do Rend Vision on Aridin. So he's blinded now for the round.
My faith protects me. No time to dally.
So we're going to shift to our 2 weapons. And again, like the weapon dip with the candle is going to be the most damage that we can do.
Use every advantage.
And we've got our main character here, Gale, who is not super excellent at combat, but we will try. We're going to use our crossbow, though, not our staff, because we don't want to get too close.
Yes, lovely.
And we'll take a shot on Barth. He's the easier to hit. And now we see axes everywhere. We got everybody in combat. No actions left. He still does, so he's still got his reaction. So we can try Halo of Spores. Got equal likelihood. We'll hit Aridin. He's the harder to hit. He's got higher armor. Alright, so we've got some birds. We'll see if we can blind first. That's a big add if we can get the blind off. He's still blinded.
Swords meet sorcery.
What should I do?
So we'll try our offhand attack. See if we can end Barth here. Nope. Main hand. There, we got him. Step behind.
Victory is assured.
No dice on that.
Mutilate them.
And that's everybody. Alright, so we'll regroup and loot. Remembering to pick up our candle. So that is for punching the old tiefling guy in the face. And yeah, I mean, we totally did, rob him after that, but, still. You guys also got rid of Halson, who looks like maybe the best person to have healed us. We can read this handbill. Aridin had, it starts the night song. We can drop this brass locket, don't really care about it. Don't need the handbill anymore either. And
Keep your distance, darling.
let's cast Symbiotic Entity.
Eager for battle.
And we'll take a look at Lizelle here, and we can hook her up with Hill Giant Strength. We don't have Tavern Brawler yet, so it still makes sense for her to use a regular weapon.
An efficient path.
We're not going to go through the front door this time. The easiest way to accomplish that is to just put on a drow disguise and walk through. You automatically get experience for defeating all of the goblins, but we're not going to do that.
My responsibility to cleanse myself.
They pursued the Nautiloid. Perhaps they were trying to free you.
A vain notion. I am one of many, and will not be a burden to my queen.
There's more shovels here if you want to give everybody in the group a shovel.
Careful, I lied.
Alright, so we're going to leave off here. I'll catch you in the next video where we start clearing out the Blighted Village. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.